Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. If you're a return viewer, appreciate the view time. And if you're a subscriber, thank you again so very much. I hope the videos are really helping you out. And if they are, please think about hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave a like, comment, and share the video, of course. Today we're going to make a little something crazy. It'll be interesting, I think. There's probably a lot of ways to do this. I'm just going to show this way here, of course. So we'll just go ahead and jump in. We're going to grab tools. We haven't really worked with our bypass ring, so we're going to grab that thing out there. All right, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of drag these over, and I'm actually watching my right view, see how far they come down. I wanted to go down kind of far, but not totally drastically, but come down on the very edges of the finger type thing. So I'll drag it out quite a bit, and then I will go ahead and do that bend a little bit more. So we have like 10, yeah, that should be probably good. And then I'm just going to go ahead and accept that. All right. And now from here, what I'm going to do is go to the curves. And I'm just going to grab me an arc direction. And I loaded the 3.4 update. So you'll see like offset curve and some other commands that may be new. And one thing you'll notice right away they've changed is now we have a drop down versus the tab going across. And this is the Rhino tab. Don't pay attention to this. I'll just go ahead and get rid of it. And go to arc, and I'll just grab an arc direction. I'll switch to my creation layer, and I'll go from that point way over there to this point way over here, and then I'm going to come down to my right side here. I'm going to hold down shift and just draw me an arc out there, and I'm just going to go ahead and you can manipulate this however you want. That's fine. I'm not going to do that for the sake of your time, but you can manipulate this all different kinds of ways. Put some points on there and have at it, right? But we'll just say this is what we want. And now, as you can see, it goes up and over. That's kind of not what we want, right? We want this to have a tangency, so it's a little bit smoother, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to swing all the way down here to our end of the curves menu, and we'll go to edit tools, and we'll just click on this first one, match, and it will give us the option select open curve to change. We want to change this curve, and select open curve to match. Select the one we want it to match to. This one here, we'll keep it at tangency, and we'll just go ahead and hit OK. And now we have, this is it wasn't a NURBS curve, it was a poly curve because it's got a point there, but we'll get to that in a second. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing here. This is the curve we want to change. We want it to change to this one, and we'll just take that one. And we're just going to go ahead and take this curve since it's joined together. So if I do the match here, it's really not going to do anything for me, right? So I'm going to go ahead and explode that curve real quick. Now we have it in different sections, and now I'll go to right click here in my command line. I'll bring up, I can just hit match versus go back up there and hit there and there, and now we have that match curve tangency. So it's all tangent, right? Okay, so we have this out here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my ring rail, and I'm going to go to my tools, and I'm going to slap a profile on there, right? And I'm going to kind of get it so that it's kind of locked in, so I can kind of see how to align it, kind of thing. And I just want to align it so that it goes straight up with those curves. It doesn't really have to be perfect for the most part. And I'm going to drag it into about a 1.3 maybe, something thin here, and a 1.3 here. So I have something like that, right? And I don't want it going up like that. I'm going to drag this back so it's kind of going down, something like this here. And I'll try to mirror it. I'm not sure it'll work, and I'll flip that right there. So what I did was, just so this was on rotate mirror, right? Rotate mirror, it'll flip it to the other side, right? So if I click here, I'll put it on the bottom, but if I click there, it flips it back over to the top. So it's exactly the same as that one there, right? All right, that's a little tidbit information. And then we're still on our profiles. So let's, oh, we're on our ring rail. Okay, so since we're on our ring rail, we'll just keep on going. Now, we want to add some more profiles. There's a lot of profiles on this particular item here. So I'm going to go over here. If I hold down shift to try to get that quad, I'm not going to get it because our offset is majorly different, right? So I'm just going to kind of go in here and kind of check it out. Click on it, and then I'm going to swing that one around to where it's something like that. And then I'll go in here and drag that one out to about a 2.5. And of course, I like a little bit meat on it, so I'm going to drag this one out to 2.5 as well, holding down shift. And then again, I'm going to go ahead and try that mirror, flip it over to the other side, and there we are. We're on the other side. So far so good. And now we'll just, if I hold down shift, this one will lock in because it is the center. And then we'll just do, see if that goes to a frontal. There we go. And this one I'm just going to make a little wider. Yeah, around a 4 should be fine. Okay, and then I'll take that. We'll hit that. That's our first one, right? Okay. So now we'll just grab this one here and this one here, and we will just go ahead and join those back together. Now you could do a dynamic join, but this, I think this curve here is not really, well, you could have done a blend, I guess, and made it parametric so you could change it. But this one's real easy to change with ring resizers, so not something I'm really worried about. So we have this. We'll go ahead and select that curve now, and we'll select this one. And we'll kind of drag it up somewhere, I don't know, in the mid there. And we'll just go to all perspectives. And we'll just swing that one so that it kind of goes out like that. And this one we're going to change. So I'll click on my profile library, we'll pick this one here, and then just hit select and then close out of that. And again, we'll try, well, let's go ahead and manipulate it. We'll change this one to around the same size as that one, because we can always come back in here and change it. I'll take it to 1.5. And I'll take this down to a 1.5. Now let's see if we can mirror this. So profile, mirror profile, click, and it's on the wrong side, so we'll just click that one. It flips it over to the outside, right? All right, there we go. And one more, we need one more profile, and this one will be in our center. And if I hold down shift, it'll lock it in there to the center. And then again, let's check that frontal, might as well, and there we go, it flips it up there at the top. So cool. Now we'll take this one and we'll just bring it out to about 2.5. 1.5 should be fine. And we'll just take that and hit enter. So we have all these profiles out there, and it's a lot of sweeping, right? So we'll go to our surface 1, and we'll just do this top surface. We'll select this curve. Oh, those kind of did not go the way I wanted them to. So let's go back here. The nice thing about it is I'll click back out of the command there that I had for sweep, and we'll go back in here and edit these. I must have done something wrong here when I was looking at it. And I'll just click this one here. And we'll go to all perspectives here so we can kind of get a look. And I'll just see if I can swing this around. Yeah, so it's not going to really work. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. Messed up. But I'm just going to go ahead and place me another one out there. And then this one, I'll swing it around. Okay, it's kind of swing it like this here. So kind of, let's go to all perspectives here so we can kind of look, and then we'll swing it around something like this, kind of take a look at it. It's going to have to come down. We don't want that kind of spin on it. We're going to bring it down something like this. So it's kind of like facing straight down. And let's kind of play around with it a little bit to get it to where it looks pretty close to being level, right? And 2.5, we definitely don't want it 2.5. We want it a 1.5 and 1.5. Okay, and kind of take a look at it. Yeah, looks okay. Something like that should be okay. We can always manipulate that a little bit later. So let's go ahead and try that mirror profile, and it's selected it right there. Let's rotate. There we go. Rotate mirror, put it right where we want it. Maybe. So let's go ahead and take that and keep on moving. All right. So let's go ahead and do that sweep now. Let's check it out. 1, 1, 1, and 1, and hit enter. And we have something like this, which looks okay. So we'll go ahead and take that. First, we'll switch back here. We don't need any of those caps, and we don't want them. So we'll just get those off, and we'll hit enter. So we'll take that. Now we'll click on our ring rail, and we'll right click to bring back the sweep command, and we'll select. It's on the bottom. Why is it on the bottom? Okay, so let's see if I can redo these here. Something, I don't know, must not have been paying attention or something. So let's click on this one, and let's rotate that so it's going up like that. There we go. Something like that. And that one is a little hinky there. Let's turn that mirror off. Let's turn it back on, see what it does. Yeah, it's a little off on that side. So let's just add one right there. Right there. And we'll manipulate this one a little bit so that it's kind of going the same direction. There we go. All right, so we have that now. And let's hope all of them are kind of jacked there. What happened there? All right, so let's just go ahead and select these here. Wonder what I did wrong. Anybody point out what I kind of messed up on? Give me a holler. Let me know. All right, something like that. All right, and that should be okay. And let's check our last one. Okay, now they all look all right. Sorry about that. I don't know what I did wrong. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. Let's do that sweep one. Let's select our rail. Let's select this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and hit enter. And of course, again, we do not want those caps. And it looks okay. All right. So we're good. Let's go ahead and take that. And now what we do is, you could probably do a sweep here, but it may not get the results you want. I just do the profile sweep, so I have better control over it. I can control it a little bit better. So I'm going to drag this one out to maybe a 1, drag this one out to 0.5, something like that. And to me, that looks much better than if I was to make a sweep and have to deal with all the seams and everything, because this one's on the outside, this one's on the inside of the other one, right? So the profile sweep just really works well. And I'll just go ahead and take that. And actually, I want to edit this a little. I want to just 1.5. Okay. And then we'll hit enter. Now we'll take, we'll right click, bring back that profile sweep. Select that profile, and this profile here. Oh, right click, bring. All right, well, I'm doing everything wrong tonight. Typhoon's outside, so, well, the remnant outside typhoon, I guess. We'll select that one. Okay, so let's grab the profile. Let's take this one here and this. Okay, yes. And I think that was a 1, wasn't it? Was it a 1? And this was a 1.5. So we want to try and keep them the same, of course. And then we'll just go ahead and take that, right? Now there's a couple things that are going to happen here that we're going to have to do different things with. So if you're going to skip out on the video at any certain time and you can't figure out why this is looking like this, you might want to stop back and check out the rest of the video. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some gemstones in here, right? Of course, right? So we're going to go to our gems on curve, this surface here. I have not joined everything Oh, well, first, oh my gosh. It's been a long week, trust me. So extract ISO curve, this surface, and it's already in our mid there, 0.5. So we'll just go ahead and take that. Now we'll select that curve and we will go to gems and slap some stones on there. And we will just drag those over here and we will come up target surface or target object, this object, and we will kind of manipulate these a little bit. First, we'll drag these down a little and we will turn on our taper middle, right? Okay, so taper middle, and we know that edge stops right there and we want some room here, so we're just going to leave that room there. 20. Oh, this is another new thing. It has 23 stones. It has 17 carats total, what, 0.17 carats total weight, so it gives you all the information now, so that's really cool. And we know that this one is right there, so we want to drag it up so it matches our other side. We have a little bit of space, and I'm going to take a look. There's our first ISO curve right there, and there's our first ISO curve. It kind of goes in about a quarter of the way there. First ISO curve going in a quarter of the way, so something like that. So that's kind of what I'm using as my guideline or whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of, this is our center, right? We know that's our center or pretty close to it. So my spacing I can manipulate a little bit. So I'm going to drag this spacing a little bit. There we go, something like that. And we're going to have to play around with it anyway because we're going to adjust some of the stones. And maybe a little bit too big, something like, yeah, that looks good where it's right in the middle. Okay, so that looks okay. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is what we want, and I am going to go over here to my commands and my placement method. I'm just going to drop them down to the table, right, and then hit enter. So we accept those stones, right? And now I'm going to go ahead and just job bag this real quick. All right, and then what I'm going to do is select my stones, go to my cutters, and this is something that I think you might find interesting. So we'll put those cutters out there, right? So it's not looking too bad on this particular one. So, well, it's kind of jaggedy a little bit, but I guess doesn't, if you're not really worried about it too much, you can take your graver in there and clean that up a little bit. I can show you another way to do your own channel. First, let's just go ahead and see what this looks like. So I'm going to click on sharp, and then I'm going to just drag this all the way down here to that edge there. Turn it on my wireframe and get in here and get a good look so I can open it up a little bit, right? And I want to see how it's kind of wiggly in there. That's kind of something I don't like. So you can do the cutter this way, but it's kind of really wiggly for some reason. And if I go in here and I try to middle point count, add middle points, let's turn this back to this color, you know, so I can kind of clean this area up maybe. What happens is it drops way down inside. You know, it looks better, sure, but it's not coming up to my surface. And it's more difficult to manipulate, I think. So if I, you know, let's go ahead and, it's looking a little bit better. Oh, there we go. It's looking a little better. Let's bump that count up. See, now it's getting rid of that waviness, right? And we're actually able to get in here and, yeah, a little bit better. Still a little wavy. Let's go ahead and continue manipulating it here and see what we get. Okay, let's drag this out a little bit more. Something like that. And we'll drag this down. It's kind of not really, you could go in here, turn off the mirror, and then kind of keep playing around with it. But I don't know, not caring for it too much. So I'm going to get it. I'm going to draw my own. All right. So this is kind of what I was talking. I mean, just something that you, for future, so you know. All right. So what we have here is, we have this. We want to cut that channel, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a freeform curve, click on that menu, and we'll just freeform interp curve on surface, right? And I'm going to change this to red, and I'm going to pick our surface here, turn on our snap there, and then kind of look down here. Where do I want it? So I want it about that line right there, right? And I'm just going to click there, so it's there, and then I'm going to come down here and go ahead and turn back to wire, and about that same area, maybe a little bit over. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to, okay, click about that same area right around there. All right, and then hit enter, and then there's my line, right? And I'm just going to continue to do this for each one. This is my surface, and that curve right there is where I wanted it, right, where it's pretty close to the same as the other side. And then come down here, and kind of it's just on the inside of this one here. We'll click there and hit enter, and then we'll just do it to our other side here real quick. Right click, this is our surface. This time I want to snap it to that end point, right, and then bring it down, and just bring it on the inside just a little, and then hit enter, and then one more time select that surface and go to that end point, snap, and bring it down here, and just go to the inside of this just a little bit. Come on, baby. Pick that profile there, near, like that there, and then hit enter. Okay, so we have that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off green now and turn off my stones. All right, so I have this and I have this over here. I want to keep those, so I'm going to go ahead and duplicate in place, turn to red, and then I'm going to turn off all yellow. So I have these out here, right? First thing I want to do is go ahead and let's just group these together, join those together, hit OK, joined into two curves. So we're going to take this, we're going to take this, we are going to split it with these two and hit enter and enter. And then we'll just get rid of this side, and we'll get rid of that side, and we will take all red and join it back together, and we should have 4 curves joined into one closed curve. So there we go. That's a closed curve now. Now if I bring back my surface, I should be able to, nothing's joined together yet, right? It may or may not split our surface because of that. So let's go ahead and take this surface. Let's see if it'll split it. Take that, and we'll go to split. What am I doing? I'm getting ahead of myself. Split with the red curve, and then hit enter, and there, it did that, right? So let's go ahead and grab that, and we'll offset it. Where's my offset? Offset. Just flip those directions. They're pointing up, we want them pointing down, and we're going to drop it at 0.3 and hit enter. And then we'll take this surface, we'll explode it, and we'll take that top surface and we'll just switch it to gray and turn it off. And we'll take that surface and check our DIR direction, and it's pointing down, which is what we want. It's pointing in, right? And we'll hit that. Okay, so we have that. Let's click our stones back on, and now we have a nice clean channel there for our stones, right? Okay, so at this point, let's go ahead and just take all our green, and let's just go ahead and join that back together. All our green, and we'll check it. Close poly surface, good to go. Let's take that red and we'll hide it. And so far so good. We'll take our stones, go to settings, put our prongs on there, and let's see what we want to do here with these. We'll go ahead and of course drag them up, yeah, and maybe do a little bit smaller prong. where's my side diameter side? Just a little. And we'll nudge them out just a little. Something like that. And we'll go ahead and grab our end prongs. And we will, let's see, end prong diameter. Just a little, I think it was a 4.3, full 4, something like that. I'll just click on here. 0.45. Let's do 4.5, enter. And then we'll nudge those a little bit. So let's get a good look. Nudge them out just a little. Not that far. There we go. Nudge it out. Something like that. And we'll hit enter. Okay, so we're good to go. All right, so from this point, the only thing else to do is to add and cut out your, not the prongs. We'll grab this. We'll go to our cutters, gem cutter, and slap those on there. We'll go to our wireframe, and we want to do a little manipulation here. We want to drag these up. Don't need them out so far. And then right here, we want to make that hole just a little bit larger. And we'll just go ahead and hit enter. And we have those, so let's go ahead and do that cut. I always do these cutters for the stones before I do my prongs, because I do not want the cutters cutting my prongs. I want to cut my prongs when I set the stones. I don't want them pre-cut, and besides, after it's cast, you're usually having to cut them anyway. So unless you got a really good casting machine, I cast everything myself, and it's not as good as what you can do at Stoller and other places. So let's grab this, and we'll go to solids, and we will do a Boolean difference, and select second. That will be this, and hit enter, and give it a few seconds here, and boom. And we'll take that, and we'll take this one and turn it to gray, and we should have our holes there on this one. Yep. And then we'll do one more, a Boolean, a union this time. We'll select that surface, hit that. Boolean union, we'll select our prongs and hit enter, and we'll slap all our prongs on there in a second, and then hit enter. And now we're just going to pick a prong, and we'll hide that. Oh, okay, didn't duplicate it, and there you go. Pretty cool ring. Now you can make all kind of different styles doing stuff like this, but there you go. This is just one way to do it. And if I go to my render and go to here, turn on the render engine here, and we'll just go to MatrixGold there, and we will grab all those gemstones, and we will, let's see, we'll close this out, close this out. We'll pick the gems here, apply, and we will go to our green, and we'll go ahead and put a white gold on there and apply that. And we'll turn on our ray trace and hit that, turn that on. And then if you have your denoiser, if you go to your options, just go to OPTION in your command line options and turn on your toolbars, go to your default toolbars, Rhino toolbars, and you scroll down here, get that tab back out, right? And then hit OK. We'll just snap this real quick to our top here. And if you go to your properties and you click on this little star, you can go ahead and add your Navita denoiser on. And what it does is, if you look at it now, within 40 passes, usually you'll have a pretty clean object. I only got 25 and already got pretty decent look going on. So see 10, 12, 15, and it's already cleaned up pretty well. If I was to turn that off and then have it go, you know, here we are, 10, 20, 20, it's still a little fuzzy, 30, still a little fuzzy, 50, still a little fuzzy. Now we're getting into a better picture, 70, 80. So it just kind of moves it a little quicker. So we'll turn that on. And if I move it, 5, 6, 17, 20, see, we're already getting a much faster. So it does a little bit of faster. If you want to speed that up a little bit, just go to your properties, and if your denoisers are in Navita, you can download that. It's an add-on. And then just click here and then there, and you can get that denoiser, so it's a little faster. And if you have a lot of things out there, it's much easier. But there's a nice little I don't know, a little ring for you, a little different design. It's pretty cool. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if it was helpful and useful in your designing process, please, like I said, leave a comment, subscribe, and share the video, and leave, of course, tap that like button. Thanks very much for watching. Good designing. Have a great weekend.